Believe it or not, your breakup was a blessing in disguise. Watch this. What is going on YouTube? It is your man's Mr. Dominic Cruz, featured on ABC, NBC, CBS, Yahoo, and Fox, coming at you with another video. Yes, another one. Hope you guys are strong for your purpose and mission life. Going out there, working hard for it, grinding it out, getting rewarded for it, because at the end of the day, we love that purpose and mission life. Good things do happen. Before we get into this whole thing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell, so every time I make a video, you'll be the first one to know. As you can see, I've been, there's videos pretty much almost every day. But your breakup, if you are in stages of your breakup, or you're about to break up, there is a blessing in disguise. And you have to look at it as a blessing in disguise, because there's actually a lot of relationships out there that are very narcissistic. Not only that, but when it's over, you start to see, like, there's like things where, you start seeing the person, it wasn't as bad, it wasn't this and this, but after a long period of time, you start to see all the bad. But it doesn't, you have to look at it this way when it comes to being, you got to be really unbiased. And it's really hard to be unbiased when you're in that situation, because you want to believe the things. There are certain things that you want to believe. Let me just put it that way. So let me just share 5 things with you on, the 5 signs that your breakup was a blessing in disguise. All right. Number 1 is that your ex ghosted you after a long period of time. All right. So understand that when you got ghosted, it's a blessing in disguise, because that person has showed you their colors. They showed you their real, true colors of how they really felt about you. And it kind of shows that, it doesn't kind of show, it does show that they really never really cared about the relationship they had with you, nor do they really care about you as a person, nor do they really respect you as a person. And that's usually a little bit narcissistic too, when someone's in your life for a little bit long, for a while, they decide to ghost you, only because there's a lot of reasons. But when someone ghosts you, it does hurt for a little bit, but after a period of time, you start to see the finer things, and it is a blessing in disguise that person kind of showed their colors sooner rather than later. Because if it was later, it would have been too late, and the process of getting over that person would be a lot longer. Number 2 is that you have never felt more confident than you felt right now. When you were with that ex, when you were in that relationship, you weren't as confident, all right? You probably were some confident, but you weren't as confident as you are today. Now, if you are extremely confident about the person that you are today, that is fantastic, but do not let anybody tell you or make you feel to be less confident, because the person that you are today versus the person that you used to be, you've grown tremendous. And every day that you focus to be better than yesterday, your progress has grown incredible. But when you feel more confident than you have ever felt before, than when you were before, that's a sign. That's a big sign that says that your breakup was a blessing in disguise. Number 3, all right, your arguments were super intense and it was very ugly. Okay, now in some places there was more than just verbal, and it did get a little, in some places it did get physical. And God forbid that it got super bad, but there are relationships out there that just gets really, really bad, and it gets really, really ugly when it comes to arguments. But after a while, when you and your significant other are no longer together, you start to see that it wasn't really you that, let's just say, that was just like really intense. That I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure that you got to look at it this way: when your arguments are intense and ugly, you look at it from, okay, I did some things, they did some things, we just didn't know how to handle it at the time. I certainly didn't know how to handle it at the time. Like, taking that responsibility, not only taking that responsibility, but looking at it from that perspective, saying that it was intense and ugly, but I know how to approach arguments better now than I did before. It's an awesome feeling, to be honest. And when you can see that your arguments were very intense and ugly, that was a sign that says that your breakup was a blessing in disguise. I'm a little off today, but let's keep going. Number 4 is that your friends have warned you. You ever had your friends tell you that, I don't know, or they tell you something that you didn't like to hear because you believed the opposite, that, they said, you think that's a good thing? I don't know. And there's some friends that will tell you, I don't trust them. Or the homies will say, I don't trust her, bro, she's suspect. Usually when we're in a relationship, we get defensive because we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear. We just say we end up going into an argument. But rather than going into an argument, we don't even ask why. And when you've broken up and you've seen all the things that your friends have warned you about, hey, your breakup was a blessing in disguise. And trust me, when you can see what your friends were talking about, in that moment when you're in a relationship with that significant other, you're going to look at it as they're hating, right? You're going to look at it as they're hating. But once that relationship is over and you've seen that true color of your ex, you be like, damn, my friends were right this entire time and I pushed them away. Number 5, and last but not least, everything in that relationship, everything was your fault, right? This is like a little narcissistic too, because like it kind of hurts your confidence. It kind of makes you afraid of talking up or, speaking out. But everything was your fault. At the time when you was blamed, when you start to see that everything was your fault and you come back and you're like, wait. I know that I have 100% responsibility in my parts in that relationship, but they're also at fault too. You can't always look at everything as your fault. So when you start seeing that everything was your fault when it really wasn't, then your breakup was a blessing in disguise. And let me just say that when someone paints that everything was your fault and they just put this whole victim mentality on themselves, that's someone that has a lot of work to do for themselves. That's a lot of personal development that they really have to go through, because there's a lot of people in this world that don't like to accept responsibility. They don't like to see things from an unbiased standpoint of view, and they don't like admitting that they're wrong. So understand that your breakup was a blessing in disguise. If you are suffering, if you're hurting, it's a blessing. All right. So that's pretty much the whole thing. So ghosted, you're feeling more confident. You start seeing that the arguments were super intense and ugly. Your friends warned you. Everything was your fault when it really wasn't. Those are the 5 signs that your breakup was a blessing in disguise. So, and if you are someone that's trying to get over your ex, you can get my new book called 10 Simple Tips to Get Over Your Ex out on Amazon right now. It is in the description box. You can grab it right now. And of course, if you find my videos helpful, you can contribute to my work by sending a donation using PayPal or Venmo. You can also find that in the description. And of course, if you are someone that is seeking personal coaching to help you get through your breakup, or you're looking for the next step in life, that is also in the description box with the Calendly link. Payment is applied, and that's pretty much the whole thing. So if you guys find this information valuable, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a share, and of course it is your man's Mr. Dominic Cruz coming at you with another video. Yes, another one. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy.